And so we continue, just for a brief moment, just for a moment or two. It's not all over yet. In fact, this is a game about time travel. Why would it end at the end? You devour memories and dream rat, that much I know, but turns out you can also free a person from fate. Free. Free. Pull it out, cross it out, gnaw it out. Yes. I want to change what I can neither forget nor turn over to a different side in the polyhedron. Yes. The human has learned rat honor. A rat can gnaw, can cover, can steal. Put me in your pocket, kind of human. I will come in handy. I don't need your first son, your first dream, or your name. I only need you to carry me into the polyhedron. Yes. Rats gnaw paper, you won't harm it? I promise. I promise no gnawing, no eating, no sleeping. I won't do anything bad. I'll fulfill every request. Just let a poor little rat look down to the town from above just once, one little time. Pity me, wretched thing that I am. You can know this. I won't harm the walls of the polyhedron, and I won't deceive you. I'll eat whatever you ask. Anything else, you cannot know. I want too much to alter what I can't even change. Very well. I agree. Yes. How the little claws will rustle on the little steps. Thank you, human. Thank you from my heart and from my whiskers. You've cracked a little door for me. Next time you end up in the room with mirrors, I will be waiting for you. Then we'll talk, we'll listen, we will nibble. But we'll eat only what Bachelor Dankovsky demands. He is incapable of lying directly. So it goes. So, with that, in theory, we could save Lara. It's not all over yet. There's ways past all of this still. It doesn't take much to go all the way back. Back to the second day. The exact point that a certain inquisitor arrived in town. We can outplay a grandmaster at chess. All we need to do is know the rules. Let's go. So, upon day 2, we may remember that of course here the immortal Simon Kane was murdered in his own study, but a new quest opens up. Peter whiles away time in the pub, eyes after all when Aglaia went to see him. On day 2. What if we outfoxed her? It's somewhat easy when you know exactly how to play against your enemies and win. If you know exactly how. But that is, of course, Aglaia's strength, is that she always knows exactly how, and we don't until quite late on in the game. But still, if we really want to preserve a miracle, if we truly want to have this go our way, to have that miracle in our bare hands, this is perhaps the best way to do it. We'll really ought to repair that amalgam vessel as well at some point. Familiar.
Ну как называется такой человек? Такой человек называется раб.
Did you want something? I'm sorry, I don't think I know you. I'm Daniil Dankovsky. I used to study at the university together with your brother back in the capital. Forgot all about me, huh? Oh, of course. You're the one who's torn his pants on the fence when you were escaping the constables together with Andre, right? I'd saved his hide that day. Without me, he'd be caught. He used to call you his grace-torn pants. Touching. But I wasn't looking for you right now, just to share memories from my student years. Listen closely. Aglaia Lilith will be here any minute.
Слово олово. Не золото.
Funny.
Не полово. Олово.
Funny. I'm only just approaching the table and it's my own name that I hear. Greetings, Dr. Dankovsky. Such an unexpected meeting in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? Greetings, Inquisitor Lilac. I'm afraid I'll have to ask you to leave, Doctor. Peter and I have quite a long talk ahead of us. A private one. I would prefer to stay. In fact, I insist on it. Iradia, please escort the esteemed doctor outside. He's got enough pub time for today. Fresh air will do him good. Let's get you out of here, Doctor. And please, do keep your dignity. Don't make a scene. This hasn't ever helped anyone. Dignity? Look who's talking about dignity, a servant of the Inquisition. I need to remember. Where did I see Aglaia lose? Probably in the capital. Heard people's reactions, but didn't approach the boards. Chess with death is enough for me. Who was I waiting for by the window? Precise, calculated moves. That day, Aglaia defeated many. Hundreds of sacrifices, dozens of victories, 0 defeats, and never drew a single game. No, that's not right. She drew 1. She drew 1 for sure. In fact... Was everyone surprised by the sudden defeat? Or did someone anticipate? Half the Institute admired Aglaia, half hated her. Opponent played cautiously. Aglaia sacrificed with a generous hand. Is this checkmate already? She outplayed me long before the game began. A rogue Inquisitor, a terrifying woman. She arrived before everyone else. How can I make her slip? There is a way out, I'm sure. Unless... No. The board itself. Aglaia lost this game. Maybe she doesn't know how to play. Maybe her opponent played better. Maybe there was an enemy of hers there. Maybe she got distracted by me. Unlikely. Maybe something else distracted her. For instance, a special kind of tobacco? Yes, that's how it was.
Если б только прожить еще год. Целый огромный год.
Are you certain of this move? Either you are extraordinarily, madly bold, or foolish, or you know some rules unknown to me. Belladonna and tobacco, those are your irritants. Pay no mind. Play. It's simply too stuffy in here, that's all. She seems to have a headache, wincing at the smoke. Doesn't bother anyone else. She smokes, so it's not just any smoke. Who came up with smoking belladonna? Why would you smoke belladonna? That's a terrible idea. Play. Play. I see everything. A strong move, so many sacrifices, and that pawn. It seems that you won, though only one of my opponents to ever achieve that. Remarkable. You managed to impress me, and now I ask you... Aglaia can focus on the game. Allowed herself to be defeated. I remembered it. Tobacco and belladonna, a mix of the two. We shall get this done. Don't you fret. Okay, let's actually remember to take my stuff from the lab up here and build ourselves the item. Allergen tobacco. I wonder what Aglaia will think of this. Back we go. And here we are.
Что такое живое сердце? Почему все о нем говорят?
What? What are you doing? What the hell? Who are you? Sorry, Peter, no time to explain. What's the smell? Is this belladonna? What's that for? Think of it as a charm against the Inquisition. Wait, I know you. You're...
Они выросли. И я им надоела.
Daniil Dankovsky. What an unexpected meeting. And right here too, of all the possible places this world has, you and I have met in the middle of nowhere. There is a certain irony to this. I'd even say symmetry. Symmetry implies equality, though I did even out the odds a bit just now. I'll have to ask you to leave, Doctor. Peter and I are going to have a long... What's that smell? Smell? I'm afraid I don't smell anything. I've gotten used to the reek of the swill they serve here. This pub is a disgusting place. There's no air in here at all. Excuse me, I'll leave you now. I need to go out. Breathe a little. What's wrong with that? It's like she was going to faint just now. I can't believe that worked. Keep your distance from the clay lilic, Peter. Rub the tobacco mixture between your fingers, stuff it in every pocket, and avoid washing, just to be on the safe side. I don't understand. Is this one of those tricks that you and Andre do? One of your wicked pranks, like those in the student years? I only just met you and you're up to something ridiculous again. I just saved you from a conversation with an inquisitor, Peter. You don't need to thank me. Saved me? What for? I didn't ask you to save me. What would the Inquisition want with me anyway? This is just nonsense. If you value your life, and if you value your polyhedron, be careful around Aglaya. Very, very careful. Do I value it? I'm not so sure anymore. Please, Peter, stop wallowing in self-pity. Get a hold of yourself and remember this. You see Aglaya, you run in the opposite direction. You still here, Dr. Dankovsky? Thank you for entertaining Peter in my absence. Now leave us. Our conversation is private. Peter. Good luck, Peter. One thing potentially saved. We might have saved our polyhedron. This is a distinct maybe. Shall we find out? See you in the future. And so we return back to Yulia's place on day 12. Was this enough? Was this enough to get us what we needed?
Что?
So... once more. Aglaya.
Все в мире марионетки. Все пляшут под чью-то дудку.
And here we go again. How do you know this? The hardest part was the polyhedron. Peter Stampton was ready to share its structural features with me, but I let the moment slip. After that, he became far less cooperative. And yet, damn it! And yet you still figured it out. How, may I ask? The most banal way. I visually inspected the polyhedron, found workers who did auxiliary labor during the structure's installation, calculated some things. An ordinary engineering investigation. Peter Stampton's silence only spurred me on. She's still one step ahead of me. Well, and knowledge about the tunnels under the town came from your acquaintance with Burak? Yes, exactly. As you understand, this evidence is sufficient to justify the decision to demolish the polyhedron. I sent it to General Block 35 minutes ago, in 3 copies in case the messengers have difficulties. In the cathedral there will be a discussion of details, pure formality, but still, will you write me a pass for it? We have not quite done enough. But then again... So, she got the plans from Peter. We disrupted the plans from Peter. She then did a structural engineering analysis, spurred on by her relationship with Artemy. She knew about this, because Artemy knew about the rivers of blood that ran beneath the town. The rivers that we told him about. Alas, not everyone's choice can be the correct one. Not everyone's ending is allowed. All at once.
У меня есть сестричка. Только ты никому не рассказывай.
So it ends. Or at least so it seems. A choice. This is it. Once more. We do not have the capacity to do this yet. They are going to have the same conversation and destroy the polyhedron once more. Unless we sabotage their chances again. I suspect we must return to day 9 and undo our decision to tell Artemy anything. A selfish decision, a bastard's decision, but one that will perhaps change our outcome. We'll see you, well, let's experiment, shall
Все
we?
важное и интересное, на
Есть
что мы
извечно
способны, больше
предопределенный
нас.
проведением
А
порядок,
значит, никто
благодаря
из нас
которому
себе
все идет
не
как положено,
принадлежит.
по заранее предначертанному пути.
I admit it, yes. I had trouble assembling an evidentiary basis, but I'm certain of my conclusion. The polyhedron is dangerous. Let's make this explicit. Inquisitor Lilith has presented us with a hypothesis about the epidemic's causes. A hypothesis, not facts. Yes, it's a supposition. There is no conclusive proof. The fact that it hasn't been found by today doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't wish to sound like a formalist, but I must remind you, Inquisitor Lilith is in this town in an unofficial capacity. Her investigation into the epidemic's causes is a private initiative. We may have actually won this. Of course, as a trifle compared to human lives. Still, General, remember this. The order carries a greater weight for you, as the one issued by the Inquisitor officially entrusted with this town.
Нам давно пора отправляться на фронт.
And never forget the chain of command, Inquisitor Karminski. Be that as it may, Inquisitor Lilith's hypothesis is extremely disturbing. If the cause is the polyhedron, we can't afford to ignore it, but the evidence truly is insufficient. Gentlemen, time is short. The epidemic threatens to spread to other settlements every day. Every hour of delay increases that risk. Our choice today is simple and cynical. Either the polyhedron comes down, or the town dies because we did nothing. With many more towns to follow. Haste may do more harm. You cannot make this decision without solid proof. A decision must be made today. Such is the directive of the powers that be. I'm the one who must carry it out, but I won't pretend. I'm at a loss. Perhaps the greatest of my life. 2 Inquisitors have given me contradictory orders. General, consider this. I'm giving you a clear objective. I can even calculate the shot's trajectory, or at least check your artillerymen. I know you've been instructed to minimize casualties. My order to fire at a specific structure fits that instruction better than anything else. That specific structure has strategic value for the state and, dare I say, all humanity. The polyhedron is a key to the mysteries of being, a breakthrough to a higher level of understanding reality. To shell it with cannons is pure barbarism. They are both biased, but... Lilith, you're biased. You're bent on destroying the polyhedron even without the proof of its hazard. Is this personal? Oh, yes. Dankovsky, I expected to find an ally in you. I'm sorry you're ready to join the irresponsible, bloody dream of miracles. The polyhedron has already taken thousands of lives. You want to sacrifice tens, hundreds of thousands more for Simon Kane's grand design? I am Simon Kane. What? Pardon me. I don't believe I heard you. Could you repeat that? I said I possess the knowledge required to decide the town's fate. Dankovsky, though you've been invited here without even an advisory capacity, I'm granting you one now. You've opened my eyes to an important factor, the possible bias of one of the Inquisitors. That's unlawful, General. Besides, Dankovsky's word won't protect anyone at the coming tribunal. You've mistaken a pawn for the Queen. You're saying that, Lilac, only because he spoke against you. I want to hear Dankovsky's opinion. And you'll be ready to listen to it? Yes. I've orders from 2 Inquisitors before me. Inquisitor Lilac demands the polyhedron be demolished, but she doesn't have enough evidence. Inquisitor Kaminsky demands it be preserved, but cannot provide safety guarantees. What do you say, Dankovsky? The polyhedron must be preserved. Dixie. Then it's decided. Decided.
Так вот, что вы выбрали, Данковский.
My idol is the truth. And so it ends. Once more.
В мои лета не должно сметь свое суждение иметь.
So you chose to preserve your miracle at the cost of all this blood. Yes. The world will never lack blood, but miracles are unique. I died and did not die. I walked every corridor at once. I am free, and therefore humanity is free. We have stepped over death. The children imagined and made real astonishing worlds inside the polyhedron. You drove them out into a world that is dangerous and dull. What becomes of them? No, Inspector, I am done playing by your rules. I set them now, and I ask the questions too. It struck me, for example, that you know everything about me, and I know nothing of you. What is your name? Daniil. Why do I trouble you so? You're not merely doing a job. You've clung to me like a tick, as if the answer you want is not for the file, but for you alone. Think it through yourself. Who is the one person that Bachelor Dankovsky haunts endlessly? Who? Daniil. You keep reproaching me for hard-heartedness, for sacrifices, but there is nothing more merciful than to free humanity from its shackles. I am driven, not only by an eye for beauty, nor by a thirst for breakthrough. I will bring them happiness. We have nothing to lose but our chains. There's not a shred of doubt in you? Silence. You're incapable of saying anything I have not already said to myself. You pick your replies from a catalogue of my own remorse. Enough! I have broken out of captivity. Understand that, at least. And what of the plague? The plague was the world's allergic reaction to an impossible construction. It is its antonym. Where the Bachelor Daniil Dankovsky now stands, it cannot exist. As for other places, we have a great deal of work ahead. You cannot cure the plague from here. The polyhedron is beyond its reach, but it is beyond the polyhedron's reach too. Who can say? They said the same thing about death. Farewell, Dankovsky. You've crossed a line that once seemed a wall. From the other side, it all looks different. And so it ends, once more. And so the story ends once more. But does our tale end, dear viewers? Well,
Был один большой Данковский. Стало много маленьких.
And now I'm in heaven, a rat in heaven. Tell me what to gnaw through, what you want to forget, and what you want to change. Today, I will not deceive you. I want to change someone's fate. Tricky business. Fates are tough bastards. But they wear down on my poor little teeth. Can't bite through just anyone, but I'll try. Whose lifeline shall I gnaw through? Lara Ravel. Is she doomed? I couldn't talk her out of this attempt on the general. Oh, well, if she attempts it, she's doomed. And she's not doomed if she doesn't. Judge for yourself, man. Your Lara understood that her life and the general's life are mutually exclusive. And you want to have your cake and save Gravel too? Wolves fed and sheep shorn? In short, you want the best of all worlds. Yes. That's why I let you in here. Need to think. What she has that's unnecessary. Honor and revenge. What to eat here. I've got it. Let's shake on it, and my friend won't lay her hands on her. You'll get 2 for the price of 1, both the general and his would-be killer. And what a price. Let's do it. Make her forget whatever you want to make her forget. Forget about revenge, if I understand correctly. Done. Now I'm in heaven. A rat in heaven. Tell me what you want to gnaw through. Interesting. I don't want to forget anything right now. We'll see. Well, just the mirror.
В каждом осколке новый я.
That's really all the mirrors. Oh well. Well, here we go. I also do regret that I came to know Simon. It changed me and chained me to his path. And so it goes. Well, that is our main fate for now. One more ending, one more time. Perhaps this time we can now save Laura. Sorry, Lara, even. There's always a way to undo fate, no? The world forgot something important. Lara's revenge. In so forgetting that, that does remove a key aspect of what she is, the character that she has become, but not to worry. I think we can, well, I think we can save her this time. Actually save her. I will keep on mapping out some more of these for you. See you shortly. Dankovsky, why are you lingering on the threshold? Come in. You're almost family, aren't you? What family? You and Lara are a family now? That's news to me. Does Lara know? I hear the irony, Dankovsky, and I understand you perfectly. I don't believe my luck myself. Oh well, blessings on you both. I'm not certain of my choice.
White birds are killed, yet black cats are beloved.
What's wrong, Doctor? You look scared. Lara, you're alive. You have no idea how glad I am to see that you're all right. Thanks, I suppose. And really, not catching the plague on the 10th day of the quarantine is a rare bit of luck. Sorry about the mess. I didn't have time to tidy up. Honestly, I didn't expect to see you here. Why? I've known Stack since childhood. Where else would I be? He's got a medical practice. I help out. I try to set things up so it's easier for him and the patients. And your House of the Living, who did you leave it to? You're confusing me with someone, Doctor, but it's alright. Don't apologize. I understand you've only just arrived. We provincials are all the same to me. We provincials are all the same to you. One face and one fate, I suppose. No, Lara, I remember clearly you had a shelter in memory of your late father. Excuse me? No, of course not. I hardly knew my father at all. But you loved him so much you were ready to risk anything for his sake. Doctor, I respect you very much, but you don't seem well. Would you like to sit down or take something? There's medicine here. I don't know what you've imagined about me and my father, but none of that's true. I can't even recall his face. Why would I risk myself for him? I fear I've wronged you, Lara. You'll never know it, but I'm very much to blame. A few other notes of fates that can and sometimes cannot be changed. Little. Can you change the fate of Little? He was a loyal assistant and did not deserve to die. No. What do you mean, no? We had a deal. I had a deal with him, too. A tiny little deal. He was born and raised here. When Little was little, I helped him with a tiny little thing. So we agreed that I'll have my due when my time comes, and now I'm having it. I thought I'd be the one to eat him. The good friend of mine is such a bitch. So you won't change his fate because he promised it to you? Yes. What little thing was it for, anyway? Find a book for him. He made a deal with you for a book? He wanted to learn so very much. Monstrous. This is why we need mass education. Now I'm in heaven. A rat in heaven. So Little's fate cannot be changed. Lara and Eva can be changed. Well, maybe. Eva Jan didn't allow her to break free from the Stillwater, and I don't like what came of it. Hey, Eva. She doesn't have a lifeline. She is a cloud. Nothing to gnaw, just cotton candy in my mouth. Tooey. What is, will be, inevitably. She's not within the Jaw's power. Can't change Eva. Lara is bugged. I spent a long time running around. You can't do anything about it right now. She ain't coming back. The bride who was burned without guilt on the first day. Ah, there we have a conflict of interest with my friend. You opened such a path for her, a sight to behold. Ask for something else. We didn't agree such terms, like to not save the girl. Fine. Please, that one that wasn't burned, another one was. But for none to be burned, I need to know through the whole town. That's too much for even me. I get that. No. And anyway, you're not worried about the girl, you're worried about yourself. And your nightmare won't go away. No matter what happens to the girl, it's already grown in you. True. Another fate. The soldier who fell from the heights, Arseny Kashkin. The one who mixed with the blood. Fine, wasn't him, it was his twin brother. Are you mocking me? As the request, so don't answer. Don't waste my time on nonsense. Human lives are not nonsense. The only one you can change is Lara. And, he can't even change Lara. Oh well. We're going to do some different endings. We're going to forget that we are Simon. Help you lose immortality, and that's all. Consider it done. Thank you. And so it goes. A pleasant ending. At the cost of dreams.
в тепле, шея в петле.
My dear bachelor, why this is slander? An irate calumny. You were slandered and your actions, if not impeccable, were at the very least commendable given the circumstances. You stopped the march of death. Little. My assistant and I discovered the plague's Achilles heel. It can be grasped now. The mortal man proved to be nothing but a fiction. Still, I won't reproach you further for pursuing it. What matters is that at the decisive moment, you cast aside castles in the air and remembered your calling. Castles in the air fell almost without a sound, as if it was simply made of paper. Your acquaintance with the sand plague has made you an expert in virulent infections, one without equal. The Commission believed that, under your leadership, Thanatica could achieve a true breakthrough in epidemiology. We managed to learn a great deal about the plague, and thanks to that we can devise a vaccine that stops such diseases. A universal vaccine for various forms of the plague? Yes. Yes, that sounds like a challenge worthy of Bachelor Dankovsky, Thanatica's new work. You can devise a better mission. The plague and epidemics like it are the hurricanes of pain and death, and medicine must stop them. Exactly. You have in your hands modern equipment, modern understanding of the world. You know how tiny microbodies can undo thinking men, and you, maybe you alone, can put a stop to it. Not just me alone, but my experience will do a great deal of good. And allow me to present to you with one more pleasant little surprise. All this time it wasn't only the Commission debating Thanatica's fate, but the Academic Council. Yours. I hasten to give you the good news. They're prepared to grant you the title of Honorary Academician. Sorry, Academician. Academician? Is that the right pronunciation? I'm hoping so. For your Gorkon research, and for the discoveries to come, naturally. Titles don't interest me, but they would allow me to protect Thanatica from further attack. Academician Dankovsky. Sounds pleasant if you ask me. Very, if I may say, becoming on you. Those are details. I won't keep you. Go, delight your colleagues. Farewell. Successful Thanatica.
Они пойдут на все, шеф. В таком случае мы пойдем на все остальное.
I know you love dramatic gestures, Chief, but still, how did you manage to convince the committee? I saw the reports. Not only did they preserve us, they allocated additional funding.
Vita nostra, brevis est, brevi fini, ietur.
They were ransacking the lab and threatening to evict us only yesterday, and today they're giving us money? Ugh. What did you do? Threatened them with a gun? Took their families hostage? I, simply shown the results of the plague research. I'm gonna be frank with you, Chief. I believed in you, but I never expected this. Rumors of the epidemic arrived. I'd bet you'd research your immortal man even under quarantine, but you beat the epidemic. Well, you know me all too well. I did study the immortal man. Tried to, anyway. I simply missed something. In the end, I realized that saving lives is more important than searching for immortality. I already read your notes on the plague. How it contends with other infections, how it learns, transmitting data from one bacterium to another horizontally, learning to avoid immunity. Incredible. Surely this means a prize, or a world prize, not a national one. The world prize belongs to my assistant. My late assistant. You mean the Jakob guy that worked with you at the hospital? Sad, sad story. But ours is a risky vocation. So they want you to study infections now, is that it? You and us. Yeah. I want this myself. It's not our mission though, is it? Studying infections is important, I agree, it can save thousands of lives, but what about eternal life? A dream. It's hard for me to abandon it too, but perhaps one day we'll pick up where we left off. I think it's for the best. Eternal life was always one step ahead of us, son. Not the time to lose my heart, but even I was exhausted. Infectious diseases are tangible, especially with the kind of foundation you've obtained in that poor town, Chief. I don't know. I need to think. I've always been loyal to Thanatica. I would go to prison for it, but this is no longer Thanatica. Consider this. Our work will be of tangible use now. It'll be so very real. Would you even be able to continue without looking for immortality, Chief? I'm not abandoning the search. Just delaying it. And so we come to an ending. The world will not forget Yakov Little. Ultimately the best of us, truly. A good man. The real hero. Because that's what real heroism is. I agree with ultimately Camus in this. Real heroism isn't about the chase for fantastical dreams and having your name in glory across the town square. It's a simple act of doing what's right. Once more. Let's go. So the polyhedron must be preserved. But now we don't remember that we are Simon.
Dankovsky.
We forgot the whole time. Or maybe we never became Simon. The price of miracles.
Те, кто на вас написал, хотели вам добра.
You chose to preserve your miracle at the cost of all this blood. Once more. You never even went inside. What if the polyhedron's not a miracle? It's just a magic lantern throwing its ornate lights at night. Its very construction violates the laws of physics. What more is there to understand? You're a fool, Dankovsky. You thought you were sacrificing one backwater little town on the edge of our country? You thought the plague would accept your handout and settle? Go. See what your miracle cost. I'll pay whatever it takes for this astonishing construction. And so we observe the true cost of miracles. You cannot hold a miracle within your bare hands. You can only look at its corpse. Shed a mouse through a cloth. Neustadt died yesterday. Took 3 hours to die instead of 5. Maybe we just missed the start. Life was... that was a life anyway. Pitiful existence. Seraphima, Platon. Don't look at me like this, Chief. Yes, we knew from the start. We noticed. Someone must have set up a hospital, right? Try at least. If I were in our place... If you were in our place, you would have done it immediately. No hesitation, I know. Then it kinda got out of control. We knew we had no chance. Spread like wildfire, but we had to try. You knew there was a lethal disease in the capital and failed to save yourself. How could you? Yeah, stupid of us. We take after you, after all. How did all this ugliness even get to that capital? Hard to say. There were dozens of sources of infection at once, like a giant moor opened up beneath us. They say there are a couple of safe places to the north. You should go there, Chief. Our hospital failed. Yes, Chief. Enough of this idle chatter. This chance is minuscule, but it grows even smaller with every second you're in contact with us. Go. I could have stopped the plague. This is my fault. I chose not to. Farewell, Chief. Enough. Every word has a chance to infect him. Get lost, Chief, and live. I don't matter. The polyhedron does. If only you could see it. A fool and a fool. Blinded by lights he never understood. A solipsistic man observes the ending of the world, yet considers himself happy. The worst for the nihilists won. But Peter Pan gets to live. As does Wendy, I suppose. And so, a different outcome in which the children never left the polyhedron. My job isn't to add to the body count, it's to cut it wherever possible. What you're proposing...
За что они так издеваются надо мной?
Don't mistake emotion for evidence. The polyhedron is the source of the sand pest, that's a fact. Bringing it down is the only way to end the epidemic quickly and effectively, that's a fact. Everything else is emotion, fogging your sight, keeping you from making the right decision.
Лилич, Крой, Орф, достойнейшие люди.
If my informants are to be believed, there are about 500 children in the polyhedron right now. You look offering us a remarkably cynical bargain. Victory over the plague in exchange for hundreds of children's lives. We can't allow that. There must be another way. You had 12 days, Dankovsky, to prevent this outcome. Now it's too late. The town is a patient with gangrene. It's strange to even have to explain amputation to a doctor. Dankovsky isn't a surgeon, and I certainly don't share the surgical way of thinking myself. And to continue your metaphor, Lilac, I argue for conservative treatment. I have some working notes on making the polyhedron safe. Yes, they're not as spectacular or as swift as your solution, but I do understand a thing or two about them. Isolating impossible objects from reality. You may impress the General or our observer Dankovsky, but I've known you too long. Admit it, the plague matters little to you. You simply want to add another impossible object to your collection, like that pier that's forever being dismantled. You'd do better collecting little ships and bottles. Kaminsky, is this true? Do you actually have a way to isolate the polyhedron from the town so it stops doing harm? As I said, I have working notes. I propose we take the risk and trust them because the polyhedron's value cannot be measured by reason. Firing cannons at it is like burning the Library of Alexandria. That loss would set all of humanity back. I agree with you about the value and the risk of losing it, but the risks... Gentlemen, spare me the lofty talk. There's a far more practical problem. There are children in the polyhedron. They refuse evacuation outright. And given the way the whole structure is built, forcing them out doesn't seem possible, even if I had the nerve for it. General, I'll repeat, the polyhedron is the source of the sand pest. You've seen what I've gathered. My directive, backed by that evidence, overrides Kaminsky's order. We're talking about the genesis of an emergency. This isn't just civilian blood, it's children's blood. That's unacceptable. I can confirm the children won't leave voluntarily. I've spoken with them enough of the 12 days. I understand how they think. General, you didn't ask, but I'll answer, and I'll be honest with that answer. I cannot guarantee there'll be no harm when the polyhedron's written out of reality. However, the process should drive the children out. Are you sure? As sure as one can be. Children are hypersensitive to such things. If I succeed, sooner or later they simply won't be able to stay there. They'll come out on their own. However, every impossible object is unique, and almost all of them are stubborn. I'll do everything I can to minimize the damage. The sandpest will be defeated. Soon. But not today, as Lilith insists. Thank you for speaking plainly, Inquisitor Kaminsky. I'll answer in kind. If not for the children, I wouldn't gamble on your experimental methods, but with the children... I have 2 orders before me, and I choose to comply with yours. You're condemning the town and the entire country to catastrophe. It's my final word. Polyhedron will not be destroyed. I will not fire the guns. This will doom us all.
Моя ветка называлась «Клакер». Я устал раз за разом играть одну и ту же пьесу. Мне больше нравится место в зрительном зале.
One writer friend of mine likes to say that all of world culture can be reduced to 4 basic plots: the quest, return, siege of a city, and guess the 4th, a god's suicide.
Моя ветка называлась «Клакер». Я устал раз за разом играть одну и ту же пьесу. Мне больше нравится место в зрительном зале.
And on they bickered for hours and still came to nothing. Indecision is the worst of vices, better to sin, but with soul, wouldn't you say? In my view, things turned out fairly well. The polyhedron is a perfect isolator. It will survive, the children will survive, people die, but not everyone. What have you been told ad nauseum for days now? The polyhedron is not for children, it was not built for them. It's a glass rose they were permitted to toy with, and they got carried away, and you chose to believe them for some reason. Unreasonable children. I say the polyhedron and the children within, a noteworthy compromise. And thus renounced the earthly. Marvellous. Now, look at what is happening in this room. Kaminsky wants to claim the polyhedron for himself, whatever that may mean. Lilith wants to destroy it. Block will not allow anything to be done to a building sheltering hundreds of children. They are stuck in this cinch forever. I underestimated the Block's humanism unless the girl whispered it into his ear. Do you think a soldier needs someone whispering to him to flatly refuse to kill children? He is a man of principles. Imagine that! And some principles cannot be revoked, even by an inquisitor's order. So it was just children's games that mattered the most? So the children's games had to be stopped at any cost. While they go on, the polyhedron's fate cannot be resolved. But Kaminsky said he would get the children out. No. He said what comes next should not concern you, the children's fate. That was you filling in what was unsaid. You do not grasp the scope of the occurring collision. You do not grasp the essence of this conflict. You chose clinch and indecision, and that is never rewarded. The general won't fire, the peasant will not take the sign of the cross, and the flower will not keep to its stem. In other words, it's a failure. And that's how this odyssey ends. Alas. Rot. A bad outcome, wouldn't you agree? A failure. Good night.
Петелька у нас, значит, с накидом. Ну что ж.
The powers that be never came to a single decision. The artillery fired neither at the town nor at the grotesque tower. The plague was not defeated, and your so-called miracle of handiwork did not survive contact with reality. It fell to pieces. That is all. And what of Kaminsky? He claimed he knew a way to add the polyhedron to his collection. As distasteful as it is, I thought that would help. He did not return from the town. The Inquisitor's seal was not enough to hold back the plague. Variant B. No matter what sort of man Kaminsky was, he understood the value of the polyhedron, and he too was made a fool. The entire time I attempted to talk to her, you dug in like the most stubborn ass. You spun the wildest tales. And in the end, you did nothing. Late at every turn, solved nothing. You destroyed both the people and the polyhedron. I regret truly that I wasted my time on you. If the polyhedron could not withstand the plague, there was no miracle. There was a flaw in its design. Understand one thing. The case I'm pursuing is not about the town, nor about the plague, nor about the polyhedron. It's about you. So consider what you turned out to be. An insipid, irresolute substance. I'm not to blame. The powers that be is simply incapable of reaching an agreement. I laid out my case. Go, Bachelor. You've proven an uninteresting subject of study. Your assistants are waiting for you at Thanatica. What's left of it. Farewell. cruel ending. I want you to know I despise people like you on a personal level. You deem yourself visionaries, and all you do is leech subsidies from people who need them more, all for your navel gazing.
Хватит. Нет, не хватит. Никогда не хватит.
People who need them more, like you, to produce new kinds of lethal gas that we'll have to disperse with various kinds of prototypes. I just wanted you to know I volunteered for this arrest. I like to clean up things and destroy parasites. Is that why I'm itching to punch you, because I'm a parasite? Chief, today the Commission rejected the appeal and issued a final ruling. Thanatica is no more. Platon and I stalled for as long as we could, waiting for you. You did succeed, didn't you? You found the immortal man? Were saved? The rumors of immortality turned out to be tall tales. The town just kept poor records of birth and death. You said you'd bring back proof. Something that would help convince the committee that our research had promised. You haven't? So we're doomed. I gathered knowledge but failed at action. Like I said, you're also high and mighty when you ruminate about subjects no one can check. When given a simple practical task to cure a disease, it becomes quickly insoluble. So now what? You left for no reason and return with no answer, and who knows what this plague of yours will do now. I left the plague behind. I must have. Or did I? A bad end. For a foolish person. And finalement, an ending in which Dankovsky figured out nothing.
Моя ветка называлась «Клакер». Я устал раз за разом играть одну и ту же пьесу. Мне больше нравится место в зрительном зале.
Dankovsky? What are you doing here? You managed to... Some people rush at breakneck speed, but you managed to outpace your very own story. You've arrived at the finale, skipping right over the climax. What do you mean? You were in such a hurry to reach the 12th day that you skipped several key turning points and didn't even notice. Today, the fate of the town, the polyhedron will be decided, but how can you make a choice if you don't understand them? How do you know all this? Come now, Dankovsky. I'm a director, and a director always knows the script. Ours is a terrible people. So what did I miss? Oh, that would destroy the mystery. I'm not even a prompter, I'm only here to guide you. And right now, I'm guiding you back to the past. Mystery, that's all there is for you? Get down to earth, you delusional psychopath. The town's fate is at stake. You missed several key plot threads, which makes the finale of your story impossible. You didn't learn the secret of the depths, you didn't solve the puzzle of miracles, you remained at the center of everything, but without any strings to pull. The secret of the depths, puzzle of miracles, I learned all that. What's the connection between them? No, wait, I understand everything. Want me to tell you? I don't want to hear it. You understood nothing. You got tangled in your own lines, and your only friend who had brought you to the most precious knowledge can help you untangle them. So you want me to repeat yesterday's lines with Burak like a puppet? I want to say that it would be fair to young Burak, but he would have learned your grand conclusion either way. You, however, would not. So now you're demanding I follow narrative logic. Isn't it a bit late for that? It's never too late for you, Dankovsky, but the choice is yours, not mine. I'm fine either way. I'll be satisfied with the crushing defeat you'll face the moment you step outside. You know what I miss specifically? Stop clowning around and help me, damn you! You want me to tell you specifically which days contain the crucial unfinished affair? But that's weak, boring, anemic pish. Is this the proud Dankovsky, willing to blindly follow the exhausted clown? No. Let's have a bad ending. Behold, as everything goes wrong. Truly failed to achieve anything at all. You don't even get an epilogue for that. No. That, dear friends, is pretty much everything. the greatest scenes perhaps are now done. Thank you all for coming with me. You've seen now every way that Daniil Dankovsky can win, lose, succeed at his task to stop the plague in the town, or succeed at a different task to preserve something beautiful, to preserve the prospect of a miracle. But did he lose himself in the process? Thank you for joining me, and thank you for witnessing most of what there is to see in Pathologic 3. It's not all of it. Certainly not all of it by a very long margin. Still, I will write an essay on this. I'll be doing some more discussion in a bit more depth. Regardless, for now, thank you all for having joined me. It's been a wonderful time. Your humble actress Sulmatul gives her final bow and exits stage left.